in, there's buyers inside of it that want it,
Correct.
and then it all, okay, no, I got a complete better understanding of that.
And so that transaction with the market would happen, within the decentralized marketplace. We would have like a financial section where you could buy, stocks or currencies or cryptocurrencies. And so because there's people trading on that decentralized marketplace, anything that's being traded on that marketplace can be used to make a purchase. So like if you had GameStop or, corn futures or whatever, doesn't matter as long as it's on the marketplace.
No, yeah, that's nice. Yeah, you're cutting out all the sketchiness.
And then another, I guess it's kind of a weird concept, but let's say you're trying to do a really big transaction and you don't want to, like, a huge transaction, millions and millions of dollars. And you maybe don't want to flood a certain market. You could have it distribute, changing that value, among different markets so that it doesn't affect a certain particular market too much.
Oh, that makes sense too.
Because if you just go in and accept all of the sell orders, maybe not everybody's trying to sell right now.
Like you're trying to.
Sure.
I'm fine with it.
Sure.
Yeah, it's fine.
Using this as evidence.
Yeah. This cannot be held or used against us in the court of law.
I have to talk to my lawyer first.
Yeah. Please sign here, here, and here.
Did you guys get the memo?
If anybody has anything that they want to add or any directions they want to steer this toward, feel free to throw it out there. I just brought us here together. I'm by no means fucking the leader or anything of this. So we're all in this together. Like if as far as we want to go, obviously, but if you guys have anything that you want to add to this, or like I said, go any different directions, just throw it out there.
For sure. Yeah, I think we should all come up with some ideas of what we're trying to learn from all this,
Mm-hmm.
and just kind of go from there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I agree.
Juggle ideas.
Let me just throw out about shit that stocks that are going to be, supposed to be booming here, and as the economy and shit restabilizes. Lithium is supposed to be booming. Anything battery related, because GM actually just announced that they are gonna stop making diesels and gas vehicles.
I heard that.
Everybody's
2035, right?
2030. I didn't see by when, but I just saw that they had announced that. But so everybody's making the move towards it, and even airlines, they're doing what they can to do that. And then I also heard that they just made a huge breakthrough find in quantum physics that they use lithium to produce certain results. So it's the demand for that shit's going to go up. If you look at their stocks right now, the companies are already growing, fairly high up there from what they were in the past couple months. It's increasing right now.
Yeah. That Pedimont Lithium shot up.
Pedimont Lithium.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then there's
here
I got like a list of them that I was looking at. 1 second here. Does anybody have any other companies that they know about battery, lithium, anything like that?
I was just looking at that link that you sent me.
Sure. Just give me a second here. So we got Lithium Americas. We got Livent, Albemarle, Piedmont Lithium Limited, Energizer Holdings, Sociedad Química y Minera, and Oracober. These are just ones that we can keep an eye on. These are supposed to be ones that are going to be growing. Yeah, but that's, I haven't done too much research into this. I just wanted to throw that out there and, have us keep an eye on it. Like I said, a lot of it, if I kind of want us to just study into the stuff that we talk about, like if we, talk about lithium, we talk about marijuana stocks, whatever. Just after we have this meeting, kind of go and research it on your own, follow it, keep an eye on it. And then, if we meet back, month from now or a couple weeks from now or whatever, just, we, have some information on it and just something to share, just gather information about how we can make some investments on it, which companies we think we should be investing into.
Well, if you want to get in on the whole like marijuana stuff, and that link that you sent for like Tilray and like Detox and all that other shit.
Yep.
Like I was already investing in those a long time ago, John. I don't know if you were investing in those either.
Yeah, I have a few.
But Tilray, they went up to like $67 a share.
Yep,
and
they
originally I bought them at like $7 a share.
Wow,
so I made hella money, but then they dropped way down. It was one of those things where the big wigs were fucking flooding the market just to make their money and then drop it back down.
Yeah, the marijuana market boomed. It's like a week or two ago. I think it was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
it just everything shot up like what 200%. Well, no, not that much. Not that much.
It went up, and then it went.
And then it dipped back down. Yep, it dipped back down. But as as we get closer to the time of legalization, we don't want to be too late to the opportunity to get them while they're low. I mean, obviously you got in while they were real nice. But we want to get into, hold on. Like Supreme, they're a really cheap stock. Supreme Cannabis, I forget what they're called, but all the hipsters got their fucking hats and t-shirts, you know what I mean? So they're just a known brand, but their stock was, 11 cents a stock, and then they went up to 30 cents a stock. But the same thing that all of these companies have in common is back in 2018 when it got legalized in Canada, all these stocks went up just ridiculously. Like Tilray, I'm pretty sure they went up to like $180 per stock. So, if you were to hold on to that till then, you'll be doing well. Like these stocks are supposed to be going up.
Yeah, for sure.
What's going on here? Oh shit, Dan's got to go.
Dan left.
Okay. Oh, Peanut's here. What's up, Peanut?
Hey. What up,
Alex? Speaking of your cousin, Nazari was asking today if I knew a what did you ask me, Nazari? Sorry, I've had a lot.
Is this Dominic Burgess?
No, it's
Johnson.
Oh, for sure. No, just wondering. I mean, I'm trying to get into software engineering to some extent, coding to begin with, just basics. I want to just dive into algebra as much as I can to begin with, and just kind of learn. So I'm not sure what language in particular, but that's kind of what I'm trying to decide, and I just want to figure out what steps to take to get to that, and what are some fundamentals to know before diving into any of that. And I heard algebra's a big one if you're trying to.
That'd be a you question there, Aflac.
Yeah.
Comes to programming stuff.
Programming language to get into?
Yeah.
Python's easy to get into.
Python.
And translates pretty well to English.
Are you familiar? Have
you
done it?
Yeah,
He's a computer
I've used
programmer.
Python.
Oh, really? Awesome.
You know a few softwares out.
Yeah. Beautiful.
What else did you ask? Sorry, like if you should get into like what is it, CS or what was that?
C++.
Computer science is
okay.
just an abbreviation.
Sure. Yeah. Or anything else he should be looking into as far as maths go or anything like that would help him out getting
What
into
kind of
it all?
programming do you want to do? Like websites, apps, or just software?
Yeah, apps. For really, I just want to understand how it all works, just so I can get a better understanding of blockchain and what runs all that. I'm just scraping the surface with the research I've done, and I feel like if I dive in and actually understand, in-depth information as to how it all structures, and I don't know, just want to get an actual grasp, and I just kind of, shot in the dark. I want to be able to explain to somebody or to even teach someone, how it works, and I don't know, just know where it's all going.
Sure. With at least like websites and apps, you don't really need to do a lot of math at all. It's mostly if you want to like write algorithms.
Yeah, and that's kind of blockchain. It seems like it's a lot of
there's
algorithms.
a lot. Then you got to get into algebras.
Yeah,
Stuff.
I think it's interesting that a lot of the professional software engineers, they'll actually they'll write out their algorithm to begin with. They'll proofread it and then they'll convert it to code. And I kind of like that model.
Yeah.
I think that's really interesting. So, but yeah.
Is there anything that cover anything that anybody wants to throw in at this point?
Well, I guess like right now, what's kind of like the overall scope and direction? Like your buddy has his company and stuff, right? And he was going over it, talking about it, XYZ, and like, does he need help, like making that like the infrastructure, the fucking? Well, I know he said funding. Like, would that be something that we're all funding in, or
I don't think. I think he's going to need like a real level of investing. I think he was just kind of throwing that out there. But yeah, that's what I was kind of trying to figure out what he was looking for and what he I just wanted to kind of hear what he was possibly introducing to into the market or whatever. I just wanted to hear.
I think it's a hell of an idea. It's a hell of an idea. Like I like the fact that he's cutting out the middleman and just everything that he went over. I was like, fuck yeah, this dude's on this for real.
Yeah, so, I was hoping we wouldn't get lost or nothing, or nobody was too confused.
No, I mean it all made sense for the most part. Like I've been in the stock market for what, John, a year? We've been in it for a year
it's probably going on a year now.
Since this shit happened, I remember you guys were getting into it right at this, right as the fucking COVID took place.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not like crazy. I'm like right now, I'm in like a couple stock market groups on Facebook, just trying to understand the market better, how to read, like, because I can't remember the name of it, but there's peaks and valleys, right? Like, how it fluctuates all the time.
Yeah.
Like, they like analysts and like all the shit, like they basically just pay attention to the peaks and valleys, and there's it's not a vector scale, but they were saying something about how, like at a certain point of the day and time, it'll be at this point. That's when you want to sell, and then or buy, and then it'll hit a certain peak, and that's when you want to buy it, or shit like that. What's that?
Like a resistance line or
some shit. I'd have to look into it. John and Andy, I actually sent you an invite to one of the groups.
Yeah,
I'm in another one that I actually had to like fill out. Like, why do you want to join this? Like, are you gonna be like selling stuff on, or just a bunch of other shit?
Yeah, they had 3 questions.
Yeah.
I joined that. Yep.
I'm just trying to get a better understanding of the fucking market and just how to read it and what to invest. Like, I do my research on shit before I invest in something. Everything I invest in, there's a reason that I'm investing in it. Like, I know that there's a potential for it, but it's
have you messed around with the call options at all?
Call option?
Do you guys do options trading?
I haven't tried one yet, but a lot of my buddies at work have been messing around with it.
Be careful.
Yeah.
Why is it sketchy, or why do you say that?
It's not sketchy. It's just it moves fast. It moves fast.
Yeah, you got to be like watching.
Sure. Yeah. See, that type of shit scares me a little.
I just need to. I want to like do some more research on that though.
Is it
like
live?
Watch some YouTube videos.
Well, there's certain things like there's certain like rules almost that you need to follow in options trading where before even getting into it, you want to verify that the volume's adequate. You know, you don't want to be stuck with the call that you can't sell, but you need to have a solid buyer base, seller base, and then
So when you
you're
say
implied.
call, is that like, or go ahead? Sorry.
Well, a call or a put, any kind of option. You know, if you're buying that, you want to deal with something that's traded heavily. Your implied your volatility, you want it to be high. You know, that's
right.
That's a really important thing. And then depending on how much extrinsic value you set for yourself, which is time to decay or the time to a contract expiring, that's another thing you need to consider, and that obviously drives the price too. So it's a lot of these like weird. Yeah, a lot of variables that actually make a huge deal. Like the bid ask spread. It's such a a basic thing, but if you're buying a call and you have a bid and asks on completely different levels, if a stock that with the high volume, you'll get bid ask spreads where somebody's asking from $1, and let's say a bid will go for $1, and people are asking 2 cents over, 3 cents over. That's a kind of a realistic range to work with if you're trying to buy these contracts. Whereas there's some out there where the bid ask spread is like you could bid of a dollar, ask of $1.50, and you're like, that's kind of fishy. So people say to look out for there's a lot of little things that you can just kind of scratch off right off the bat to give yourself better odds, and that's kind of what I like about it. But it's still sketchy.
Sure.
And maybe not sketchy, but
no, it's high risk, high reward type thing. I feel like one of those.
Yeah.
But, see, this is exactly what I want this group to be, is just us filling in little details, anything from little details to major details that we can to just help us make better choices and better decisions.
Better understand, and I'm all about that. Like, and also, like me personally, I'm about like when me and John started, like me and him would just share ideas. Like, we're looking into this, let's buy this, X, Y, Z. Like for me, blockchain technology, I've been looking into for the last year, Alec and John. I mean, like I saw a video, like just kind of the way the future's going and shit. And I actually, so like that eBang, you guys should all really check that one out. It's EBON. I'll put it in the chat. If you guys are on your phones and shit, but basically they're blockchain, but then they also mine. Or here, hold on.
A mining pool.
It's a blockchain technology, and it develops chip technology in China, and then they do Bitcoin mining as well. These guys they're really cheap right now. They're at $7.16 a share right now. They kind of fluctuate. They go up and down a little bit, but I bought 12 shares of them, and I've made some money off of it.
Looks like they peaked in February on the 18th there.
Yeah, they went really up. Yep. And, I mean, they're like slow moving, but like if you look at like Riot blockchain, like if you like, I'm assuming most of you guys are on like Robinhood or
Coinbase or some shit like that.
Or on Robinhood if you're trading crypto on there.
What? So is everybody on Robinhood for the most part, or do they use anything else?
A lot of people use Webull too.
Right, I've seen.
You don't want to use those applications. You want to use. I would use Coinbase. Don't get me wrong, but I'll buy Bitcoins up through Coinbase or your standard exchanges, and then I'd go to like Bittrex or I don't know, kind of an off-brand DEX, because the fees are smaller. The tools, for analysis, they offer more tools. So that's important. Whereas Coinbase, they give you Robinhood, they give you a little shit chart, and you can't really analyze anything. You can't see volume or any of that.
Yeah.
So, and what happened with Robinhood, believe it or not, but they are the holders of the coin. If you buy crypto through Robinhood, you're not really getting anything in the wallet, or you're not getting an exchangeable wallet. They hold it.
Yeah, you can't exchange it throughout the market. Coinbase, thankfully, you can.
Yeah. And if you
but,
look at the Robinhood privacy policy, they say that you can, but you have to jump through hoops, and that's baloney.
Oh, okay,
you know?
okay, yeah, but I feel like I don't think I've heard any success stories over that.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense. But yeah, that's why I want a wallet, you know, an out of network wallet type deal, but an encrypted, secured one, and you know that's hard to find.
Yeah.
Do you guys think
seems...
that?
Oh,
Do you think that what Dan is bringing to the table has some solutions to any of this, or is this?
I agree.
I think what his network is trying to accomplish is trying to cut out that whole other exchange and just leave his being the main exchange. But also, you know, he wants other things within his company. But I think that's mostly the deal is, you know, like cutting out the middleman and just having his own exchange process, which is, you know, pretty fantastic because it's not sketchy as fuck if it's legit. You know,
He's on. Yeah, I think he's on to. Yeah, that's a hell of a deal or an idea.
I think it can work because if you guys look at it the way, I mean, you got to scale everything out when you're making these kind of speculations or conclusions. You have to look at it on a scaled basis. Like if you look at the global market cap, it's massive, you know, and Bitcoin's, you know, has its little cut. And if you think about it, you know, if blockchain, you know, cryptographic assets do go on a global scale, all these little shit coins, all these altcoins will have a utility, you know, because demand is just going to be so high. And especially when people realize that proof of work isn't sustainable, you know, the proof of stake DeFis are going to blow up. And people need to realize that. And I wouldn't look into options. I wouldn't look into stocks or any of that stuff. Just buy up as much of these little shit coins as you can. You know, diversify as much as possible.
Exactly.
And just hold
on and camp on that bitch and see what happens.
For 10 years, hold.
Yeah.
Right. How did Bitcoin
Ether
come to
was
be?
that way.
Exactly.
Bitcoin was that way.
Yeah, all. And it's
exactly.
Dan had thousands of Bitcoin. You know?
Well, and more places are giving the option to use that shit, you know, as a currency.
Right. It's becoming more and more usable every day.
Like accepting it.
So that being said, is there like I know you're saying diversify, you know, get a bunch, but like, are there any that you would say like? Obviously, we don't know if any of them are like shit, but is there any way that we can determine that if they're like partially shit? Like, is there anything that we want to look for to steer away from? Like, or are we just kind of going at it blind?
No, I don't want to go at it blind, and you can begin with kind of coming up with a conclusion of separating these different consensus approaches. So you know, proof of work, it will have its place. Like Bitcoin will have its place without a doubt. You know, I think it's because
that's what they work off of, right? Proof of work.
Yeah, and to switch over takes a ton. Like Ethereum realized that proof of work isn't sustainable, and Ethereum, just to begin with, they're like, well, we're not a currency like Bitcoin is. You know, they don't have a cap. They have a inflation built into the algorithm, into the program. You know, so you know,
it automatically adjusts.
Well, it adjusts by creating more tokens, right?
Sure, okay.
That's kind of how they figured, and they were wondering like, well, if you can just keep printing these, you know, the value is never going to go up. Well, I mean, you got to understand that they're factoring in inflation. And on top of that, they're not just a currency or a backer of something. They have a tech where you can program a currency. Like smart contracts is where this is all going, I think.
Sure.
And smart contracts is huge.
Shit, man.
It's all kind of the way of the future, man. It all intertwines with blockchain. It really does.
Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, you're good. Like with Bitcoin, right? When it first came, I believe that was like the first cryptocurrency, right? Correct me if I'm wrong.
I believe so.
You bought that shit super cheap. It has no real face value to it, right? It's just fucking buy and demand. And then, you know, companies started like, oh yeah, you can use Bitcoin at my job or at my place, whatever. So more and more demand will come up to be, you know, like you look at Dogecoin, right? It's like 5 cents right now. Some shit like that, like super dirty cheap. People are already like, you know how like you look on fucking social media and people are like, making memes and all this shit, and it like the prices like fucking you got GameStop, AMC, Doge, XYZ, blah blah blah. Like with Doge, places are actually starting to accept it. So like the value of it ever since, I don't know if it was Elon or whoever, but Doge kind of just like blew up out of nowhere. And it's been holding its value. I mean, it dropped a little bit, but
Right.
It's based on supply and demand. Like
Correct.
once it's scaled, then you need a $300 trillion global market cap of some asset. These little shitcoins that have a $100 billion market cap, or even 200 billion circulating tokens or whatever, they're gonna gain value because there is gonna be a demand for it, and people don't see it. They think, oh, well, it's just like short term, that nobody can think on a broader scale. But once this thing blows up, it's gonna have some, it's gonna have utilities that, like, people can't even imagine.
Right.
Yeah, and that's why I'm sitting on a bunch of Doge right now.
Dude, that's
like,
smart.
Yeah, like I have almost 3,000 shares of Doge right now.
Straight up.
I'm sitting on some too, for sure.
Yeah, and it's 5 cents. You throw in $200.
Type thing. You know?
Where did you guys purchase that? On Robinhood or on like Coinbase?
I did Robinhood. I got it at like a fantastic fucking average, but I'm sitting on about 12K.
Nice.
That's awesome. You guys should get on Coinbase and just buy Bitcoin through Coinbase. Don't buy anything else. Well, I mean, Coinbase is nice because they have a converting function where if you want to convert one currency to another, you can actually do that on Coinbase, which is nice. It's like a no-fee exchange where if you want to convert, from Bitcoin to Ethereum, you can, as long as you have, set amount of Bitcoins or whatever, which is sweet. But if you want an exchange that's offers a decent amount of these cryptographic assets, Bittrex is a good one. Bittrex, and you'd exchange your, you just generate a wallet address, send from your Coinbase to your Bittrex, and then trade it with the Bitcoin in Bittrex. And they give you awesome tools. Everything's, just even in your pocket on your phone, they'll give you a ton of great tools, which is important. But and it gets you further away from Coinbase. Like Robinhood, if you have crypto in Robinhood, I'd sling it off and get it out of there.
Oh, most definitely. Anytime I'm gonna, they really don't have shit to invest in, to be honest.
What can you explain what you think is up with Robinhood? Why you want to get out of that?
Yeah. So like Dogecoin, for example, they need to hold liquidity, right, of Dogecoin to sling it. And there's a digital wallet on Dogecoin. When the volumes of trades on Robinhood went up, this wallet was buying up a shit ton of Dogecoin to be able to sustain, to be able to hold the liquidity so the buyers can buy in on there. It's kind of confusing, but they're kind of middlemanning. I don't know. I'll just send you the link. How about that?
Okay.
I'll find it. I'll send it to you guys later. But I think it's pretty important.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Is that how you were saying that they like hold the coin for you and it's not your digital wallet?
Do you somehow gain interest off of this? Is that right?
They'll hold the coin and they just you buy it, it from them, and you don't actually hold the coin. You kind of just hold the promise of you owning that coin, but until you read the privacy policy and you realize that, hey, it's not actually mine, but I can pull it out if I want to, and there's a loophole to do that. So it's not like, it's not true, whereas on Coinbase, it's my money. I have a wallet. I can dip out with it. I can hold it, whatever.
That's where it's a little bit more of a gamble.
Yeah. More or less. Yeah.
Quick thing. Can somebody explain the whole process of mining and how there is a certain amount that can be mined? And I know that Doge does not have a cap, like it is unlimited. Is what I read up on. Unlike Litecoin.
Hey, Alec, you remember your Bitcoin miner that you had?
Yeah.
A long time ago? Are you able to talk on that?
I mean, I was in a pool of like a couple hundred people, and we just mined. So every time we found the correct formula or combination, whatever it is, our pool got whatever was going at the time, 12 coins, and then it got split up between that whole pool.
Wow.
That's still a gain. Wow. Yeah. So
It was I wasn't. It goes based off your your calculation power, and I mean my machines aren't super powerful, so I would be getting point like 0.00001 Bitcoin every time we found one.
Sure.
It took a while to get anything.
They're like power the machines and shit, like your electricity bill and everything. Like
Yeah, they skyrocket your
Wow.
electricity
Crazy.
bill.
this is an actual machine. This is a crypto
I had-
mining machine.
Yeah, I had machines. You can use
Wow,
graphics
okay.
cards for Bitcoin.
Wow. That's what Nazar was talking about. The GPU is unavailable right now.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
wild.
What, like the 3090s and shit, or are we talking about different things?
Yeah.
Those are graphics. Okay.
The whole 30 series.
But I think
So it's like computing power to be able to decipher an encryption.
right.
That's what I understand, and that's how you create a consensus between, between a sender and a
seller.
receiver.
Right.
Yeah.
And then there's also people who encrypt or not encrypt, but they have to verify the blockchain, like the whole receipts, all receipts.
Yep. So
Sure.
those are the miners. So a transaction. If there's a network of nodes, on a proof of work, it'd be the mining machines.
Right.
Network of miners. They would receive. So what I understand is a block is like a bus. I watched this video. Is what I learned from it. It's like a bus, and transactions pool into a block, and
then-
this block attached to it, from what I understand, or it creates like an encryption on top onto all these transactions, and it generates an encryption based off of the last encryption, and it's I don't know.
No, I feel it. No, I get it. It's a lot. It's a lot of shit.
It's a lot of shit, man. Yeah.
It is,
It's a lot of shit. Yeah, that's definitely why we all need to, do this again
And see that, and I wanted us again just all to come together to bring what little information we have and fill in any information. It's going good. And more eyes and brains we have working on this, reading about it, learning about it, sharing about it, amongst us, the more we're all going to learn together, and
Yeah.
the more successful it's going to be.
I agree completely. Better understand the market and your options.
Mm-hmm. I would highly recommend just researching proof of work as opposed to proof of stake,
Yeah.
and the different algorithms to come to a consensus. That's like literally the number one thing. Byzantine agreement, that's a really interesting one.
Dan mentions that inside of his white papers.
Yeah. So whatever algorithm they come up with, or will, or have come up with, that's if it's based on the Byzantine agreement, which is the way the problem's executed to come to a solution. Byzantine agreement's a good basis to plant everything on. You guys can read about it. It's like it was thought of in 1982 by some mathematician or something, and he came up with this algorithm that comes to consensus with few faults and insecurities, I guess you'd call it. I don't know. Like they say on a proof of work like Bitcoin, if you hold 28% of the computing power on the network, so the network that authenticates these transactions and that transfers, runs the transactions. If one of the nodes has more than 28% of the computing power, they can supposedly generate two transactions or do something with the transactions that create an untrue statement or a false statement. And then if you're holding more than 51% of the computing power, you can literally change anything you'd like. You can you have the power to decrypt the whole chain.
Right.
Down the road, if somebody can afford let's say a quantum computer or some hardware that's a lot of money,
crazy computing power.
Yeah,
They all throw down on it.
Like quantum computers, million plus.
Yeah.
Google, like what Google has.
We could all throw down on it. Who wants to take out $100,000 loan?
$100,000 each.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It would be
Fuck,
short 2 members or 3 members.
yeah, we gotta get a couple more.
We just gotta get some disposals, some pawns. Hold on.
Yeah, hey, get in on this, guys.
Yeah. This is now a pyramid scheme. All right, guys.
It's not a Ponzi. Oh
I do
shit.
have
Trust
a
me.
question though. Like, just kind of like we're obviously going to be having these meetings, getting together, X, Y, Z, blah, blah, blah. Do we want to do like an outline or like what we talked about in each meeting, like kind of like an overview type thing, or like
Yeah.
is that necessary? Is that something you guys
No,
want to
no,
do?
no. I mean,
Should.
anything to make this, more productive. That'll help. That'll help organize this whole thing. Help us
Make it more
keep focused.
constructive.
Yeah. So that's a good idea.
That's
So
just
yeah.
kind of how. Right. That's
Right.
right.
Yeah.
And so,
I mean,
like,
I don't know if we can, if we do Zoom or something next time. I don't know. Or if
I
we
mean,
just
we
do.
definitely
I don't
can.
think
I mean, if
we'll
you
do
guys all have a webcam, literally, I mean, you could freaking do this.
You got a smartphone.
Pop it on right quick.
I just want to say,
My
if I
video's
if
on
I
it.
say
Come
something
on,
and you
man.
guys know that it's off, just call me out. Please call me out.
Hey, what's up?
If you guys,
Yeah, we can do this. This is free.
This is free.
This is free.
So I don't know if Zoom does that shit or not, but no, I don't know. Like, that's just like.
We got faces finally. 36 minutes in.
Yeah. Like from an engineering standpoint, that's just kind of how we nitpick everything. Kind of this is what we discussed. This is what we talked about. Da 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 da. And then from there, you can start going into your subgroups, start branching out further and further and further.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll bring up questions. It'll bring up this. It'll bring up that. Instead of just kind of going in the same circle. Shit.
yeah.
Right. Exactly. Do you wanna like create that outline?
I mean,
Like,
I can. Yeah.
Because I mean, you know what it is. You got a good idea. You do it at work. I mean, I don't
Should
want
we
to.
do an open spreadsheet where we can just kind of have a side of the spreadsheet where we can brainstorm ideas and then construct on the other side? And
we can do like a Google Doc. That's kind of what me and my cousin Alex do, Lone Peanut, when we're working on projects and stuff like that. So
for sure, just make do a spreadsheet and make some rows or row for each person. And then we can just kind of type in what we want to learn or something that we're stuck on, and then maybe we can all just kind of periodically jump in it and see if we can help each other find a solution, because I feel like a lot of the things just getting kind of stuck on certain topics and not coming to conclusion for a while, and then you're just stuck, and then you kind of get pushed away from the whole damn thing.
Right. Yeah.
It's disappointing.
Yeah. We don't want to keep looping back over. We want to keep moving forward, keep coming up with solutions, and
yeah.
I mean, yeah, I'm all about it. Then I mean, what we could do is start something and then put it in the email chain. I mean,
it's like a Google Doc or something, like you said.
Right.
Yeah, and we can all reference it. I mean,
one more thing that I wanted to add back to Dan's thing. I mean, we heard a little bit about it. We haven't quite got to all dive into the white papers yet, but we'll see. I'd like to see if there's anything that we could do to help him move that forward. Like, I'm not saying investing. I'm just anything that we can do to maybe help that, or any so
just knowledge base.
Yeah, anything that we could do, like we'll have to talk to him about that, obviously.
Connect the dots.
Exactly, help connect the dots, because he's done up to where he's at by himself. So I feel like with a little group behind him, he might be able to come up with some other stuff.
Verification and all that.
Yeah, exactly. Anything that he's missing, we might be able to fill in. Who knows? But yeah, something little support and whatnot.
Kind of come up with an algorithm between one another, see how he can actually apply it to his thing.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Right.
Sure. Okay.
What you got? You need a new SD card? Oh,
Mhm.
your Apple doesn't take that. I'm just kidding. I've been recording in high quality sound for 36 minutes. It's 50 gigs.
I don't. If anybody has,
We don't know where this is going, but I think we can put something good together.
I mean, do you guys